Hey there. How do I make money while I sleep? Well, that's a good question. It's the $1,000,000 question. And I am joined today, I'm Sylvia Four, Realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty. And I'm joined today with Nate Jomaa, head of the Nate Jomaa Mortgage Team.
Exactly.
And I thought that we would discuss this very interesting idea and a gateway into real estate investing so that you have generational wealth in your building to buy a single family home eventually, right, Nate?
Yep.
All right, so out of the obstacles that we've had for the last few years, boy, it's been tough for our buyers, especially those not made of money.
Right.
I thought we would share this wonderful opportunity out of the obstacle with our listeners. So I thought we'd talk about, Nate, first of all, what it means to them, what they have to do. Number two, what you need from them. And number three, my role as a realtor and what I see out there in the market. So Nate, let's take it away. What is it that it means to them?
Well, it's an opportunity for somebody to get into owning a home and to leverage that home to help them offset some of that mortgage payment, but then also to build what could potentially be generational wealth through amortization and appreciation in that home. So amortization, that is when you're making a payment against a home and you're paying the principal balance down on that home.
Thank you for explaining
Of
this.
course. And over the course of some years, it could be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, as you're making those payments, your amortization is narrowing because you're paying off more and more of that home. But in that same period of time, home values are appreciating. So currently they're appreciating at a very high rate. We don't know that that's going to continue, obviously,
No.
but there's also no reason to believe that we're going to start to see home values take a decline. So there's still going to be appreciation over the period of 1 year, 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
however long you want to hang on to this place. So the opportunity for you is to be able to get in, to be able to find renters or tenants to help you offset your payment, but then also build wealth so that you are able to take some of the cash that you're earning and to apply that toward savings, to apply that toward paying down debt, to be able to just use that to buy either other properties or to buy a nice single family residence that you really like.
Yep. Gateway really to generational wealth. You could start even after 1 year because they have to live in the unit for 1 year.
They have to live in the
One of the
unit
units.
for at least a year. So if we're looking at a duplex, it's a 2-unit property. You have to live in one side, and then the other side you can rent out for a year.
Yeah.
You have to live in the one side though for 1 year. Now after that, if you decide that you want to put 2 tenants in because you're going to be moving on and maybe buying a single family residence, or maybe you want to double down and buy another duplex
Get into it.
or a quadplex, that's an opportunity
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
There's nothing stopping you from continuing to do this.
Yep.
The only rules of engagement, if you will, are that you live in the property for at least a year. So you have to live in one of the units. If it's a duplex, I
Right,
guess,
yeah.
a 3-unit or a 4-unit, you can rent out the other units, but one of those needs to be occupied by you for a year.
And so, Nate, what are some of the qualifications that my folks out here that aren't made of money?
Yep.
And, you know, some of life's bumpy roads, they may have made some mistakes, finances and whatnot. So what are their qualifications for this loan?
Sure. So if we're looking at an FHA loan, Federal Housing Administration, that's a government-backed loan and a government-guaranteed loan, which we can get into all the nuts and bolts on that at a later date. But the minimum down payment on an FHA loan would be 3.5%.
We love that.
So that's a pretty decent down payment. The thing about an FHA loan is that it has what's called mortgage insurance premium, MIP. And that MIP does not go away for the duration of the loan if you're only putting 3.5% down. So at some point, if you're going to retain the property as an investment property, you're probably going to want to refinance that property out of an FHA once you've gotten that equity in the property and put it into a conventional conforming loan type. Because then at that point, maybe you've gotten the 20% equity, which means that your loan to value is going to be 80% or less, and you won't have that mortgage insurance payment.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you don't want to get an FHA loan up front, your minimum down payment on that could be as little as 3%, or 5%, just depending on the buyer and how that is
Right.
structured.
And that's what I love about Nate. He's going to tell you what your options are, and this may be a problem, but this is what you can do in the future. So this is why you trust your lender, and appreciate that. Now, as far as they can get a gift as well for
Yes.
their down payment.
You can get a gift.
Yeah.
So I'm not an accountant, so I wouldn't be able to tell you the implications of certain gift amounts, but as far as we're concerned, there's really no cap on what your gift can be.
Yeah.
Your gift can be from a family member that's related to you either by marriage or by blood.
Mm-hmm.
So you can accept a gift in any amount from a family member.
Nice. Okay. All right. What about their credit score? What are we looking at with an FHA?
So the minimum credit score with an FHA to put that 3.5% down is 580.
Wow.
If you're under a 580, we can still do it, but you're going to have to put down a minimum of 10%.
Yep.
A lot of people don't have the 10%, especially if they're looking at doing the multi-family or the multi-generational homes. So the 3.5% requires at least a 580. Now that doesn't mean that if you have a 580 that you're approved. There's going to be a lot of compensating factors. So let's walk through some of those if you have any questions.
And they probably could save money if they had a higher
Oh yeah.
credit rating when
Absolutely.
when they started talking to you. But
Yep.
at least let's get the talking started and
Yeah.
and start setting those goals and going for it, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
with the reason that I see this as an opportunity is that there's so many folks that have landlords of these multi-units. They have had them for they've had them for years, generations even. And so they're saying, I'm done. I mean, I'm at a certain age and my portfolio, it's time for me to sell off. This, from the obstacles, has come this opportunity, and those people that aren't made of money, they have programs out there so that these investment properties can be purchased and continue on.
Yep.
So there's lots of folks that are ready to sell, and taxes have gone up, and so has all the other things, and they're just done. They're just done. And we just wanted to share with you and put that idea in your head, or if you have children and you want to see them on the path to real estate investing, we think it's a great opportunity from the very difficult real estate market we've seen the last couple of years. So contact Nate and just sit down, talk with him.
Yeah.
He's just so approachable. I've known you forever from Melbourne Chamber, and contact me and we'll get you going and see if this is a viable opportunity, or set that goal so you know what to do to make it. Put the fire in the belly and go for it.
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right.
Mortgages are not one size fits all. So definitely make sure if you have questions, reach out to myself or any licensed mortgage pro here in town, and we'll be able to sit down with you and give you a personalized mortgage plan and help you understand what your obstacles might be. We'll help you come up with some creative ways to overcome those obstacles and then get us across that finish line together.
Right, across the finish line. Thank you, Nate. I really appreciate you
Of course.
coming. And we will talk another time about some other opportunities that are out there. But meanwhile, folks, like us on Facebook, and we would like to share this with any and everyone that we can, so that you have these nuggets of information. Thanks, Nate. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right. Bye, folks.